So this is a Non-augmented reality: Why we shouldn't look through technology by Kyle Van Oosterom in AI Society. This is their curmudgeon corner. They have a little sort of ethics and opinion corner that is kind of fun. So here we go. As always, feel free to ask questions along the way. And this is my first time reading it too, so we'll find out what this person has to say. When the Vision Pro, an augmented reality headset, was debuted by Apple a few days ago, Tim Cook advertised it by saying, "It's the first Apple product you look through and not at." This is a genius slogan. It shows that time and again, Apple's marketing team really knows how to sell a new product. However, I felt a little uneasy at the implicit suggestion in the slogan that this is a necessarily good feature of a piece of technology. I want to suggest two reasons why we shouldn't look through technology, and perhaps why it's okay to just look at it. Alright, so why? Like, I mean, is it modifying, like, they think looking through is somehow modifying the method of understanding, as opposed to looking at something, which is more like you are focused on it. First product you look through, but I've looked through their marketing for years. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Is this really not the first thing you look through, but like a lot of other stuff is the way you, a lot of other stuff they do shapes the way you view the world anyway. And a lot of that is marketing, but a lot of that is, design choices. You look at certain design choices and then interpret the world through those design choices. Like, phones are all this sort of shape nowadays. And we look at the world like pockets and bags in terms of, can it carry this thing? So yeah, Apple is a fashion company. Exactly. They are making design things that, that is how we interact with the world. So already this is interesting that this is how they decided to choose their marketing stuff that you look through and not at. But so yeah, I think the author's already off to a good start. They have picked up on an interesting question, at least in terms of technology and marketing. All right, author says, before I do that, it's worth getting a better picture of what the Vision Pro can do. When you put the headset on, you're able to seamlessly interpose the digital world onto the physical world. This means you can access applications, watch content, and play video games, all while the real world is plainly in view, though the real world might be slightly obscured by the fun digital world. The truly unique part of the technology that sets it apart from Facebook's AR technology, Oculus, is its lack of handheld controllers. To select something, all you have to do is move your eyes toward an option, then tap your fingers together anywhere in space to click. This is due to its insanely powerful eye tracking and camera tracking technology. It is a truly immersive take on augmented reality, where we are no longer limited by a display, to quote Tim Cook again. So I guess it's like I look over there and I go beep, and that sort of just auto does it for you. Unreal Brian says, so should we talk about how bad I'm at multitasking already? There was a little bit of a viral thing on YouTube where basically this was augmented reality hell, where someone is getting their built-in augmented glasses hacked, and so it's showing them all this weird stuff, trying to get them to select and click on things that they don't want, and then eventually the hackers win and they drain the person's account, and then they shut down the augmented reality overlay, and basically they're down to nothing. There's they have nothing in their augmented thing, so they see the world as it normally is, which is kind of a shitty cyberpunk version of the world, and they're freaking out because they are so used to being bombarded with different messages and advertisements that they freak out and they find some little religious alcove and they start praying, and the thing is pay X amount of money to have the psalm read to you. And so they're oh, okay, thank God. And they put a little bit of money in, and the psalm and a little Jesus figure shows up in their augmented reality thing. So, and they were oh, thank God, I can relax now. And it was fun. Viper says $3,500 for a headset. I can't afford that, but all my peers at Oxford probably can. I should write a paper I can refer to at dinner parties and justify why I won't buy it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who's really buying anything, these thousands of dollars sort of thing. Um, as always, there's like streamers out there who, this is their job to buy these things, like games and stuff. So it's like, there's not disposable income for them. It's business products. And you know that all these tech companies are thinking like in the future when the prices come down, and they're all trying to be the one who's like controlling the market. And so, it's sort of the very wealthy hobbyist at this point, but they're expecting that it won't be for very long. So yeah. This is the problem. Like, this is why they had the metaverse. And there was like a land grab in in Metaspace or whatever it was for the like metaverse NFTs or whatever. And then because they thought, oh, we're all gonna go this way, and then people were like, nah, not really. But for a little while, they thought that was the thing. Headset is not for you, pro. Yeah, exactly. Okay, author said earlier that I felt uneasy about the slogan, and the reason why is one familiar to those who study introductory courses in philosophy. Perhaps a lot of people might see where I'm going with this, but consider whether you had the choice to put the Vision Pro on forever. You would always have the opportunity to watch content. You could have Google's search engine ready for any question you have. You could even watch videos you have taken and relive your favorite moments at any time. This last point refers to another interesting feature of Apple's Vision Pro, which enables you to take hyper-realistic 3D videos and thus record and play back the snippet of reality you just experienced. The question then is, would you put the Vision Pro on? Here's the thing, if you can't take it off, that gets really weird. Like, yeah, because it's like you have to put it on forever. The history of technology. For a little while, stupid people thought. Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, I'm like, people are still hating on the Bitcoin. It's been around for a long time now. Now, are the NFTs going to be worth anything? I don't know, but they're still around. So, it's like, who knows? Sometimes it just takes a while for things to find the proper use case. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Okay, I suspect most people would not, and there's a famous thought experiment that suggests why we wouldn't do so. Robert Nozick imagined a similar scenario in 1974, where we could plug ourselves into an experience machine that stimulated our brains to produce the most pleasurable experiences one could imagine. Nozick argued that we would not want to plug ourselves into such a machine despite the amazing, pleasurable experiences we could have. Arguably, the reason why is similar to why we wouldn't put the Vision Pro on forever. There's an important value to be realized in authentic, non-augmented experiences, even if they can sometimes be less pleasurable. Yet this is the thing, you actually want to have a life. You don't want to have a curated life, because then you're in someone else's story and maybe you won't like it. Now, can they guarantee that it's always going to be awesome? They can try, but like, you don't know. Nasty little hobbitses, yes. Wait, this isn't just the experience machine light. Yeah, that's I think I was a few seconds behind you, Valpo. That's exactly where we're going. You're ahead of it. Viper says, this sounds like a plot of the movie Strange Days, where the brain interface and black market for other people's experiences. Yeah, I mean, it comes up a bunch of times. Most recently I saw it, actually not most recently, a while back I remember seeing, there was an episode of Ghost in the Shell, the TV show, where people would someone had made a really amazing movie in an artificial intelligence, and people were just plugging themselves in and never leaving the artificial intelligence because they just loved watching the movie over and over and over. Yeah. So Valpo nailed it, but Valpo is already a philosopher, so Valpo knows what he's talking about. One of the things I like about my phone is that it enables me to have pleasurable experiences such as chatting with friends or loved ones, watching fun content, and learning about the world. I get all that simply by looking at my phone. I also know that I look at my phone too much from time to time, and so I can miss out somewhat on experiences that happen away from my screen. This is the thing. You are getting a curated version of the world if you're always looking online. That's the algorithms that they use. That's going to inherently be very uniform, because you're just a number. It may be a little bit tailored to you, but it's not going to be, you're not going to get the variety of experiences that you might get elsewhere. And so it's like there's always going to be something that you're going to miss out on. Yeah. So when I realize this has happened, I know that I can look away from my phone and engage with the real world. I have a little bit of problem. I mean, Who's to say what's real and what isn't? This is one of these things. When the Pirate Bay founders went up against to a, you know, they were being sued for having the Pirate Bay, they forced the prosecution to say AFK and not real world because it biases people to say one part of your life is more real than another part of your life. You're just AFK. You're away from your computer or away from keyboard, as the old lingo was. I don't know if you have like keyboards on phones or what you would want to call that. Yeah, lackluster pleasures. See, this person's being old fuddy-duddy. Okay, so author says, however, if I had my AR headset on, I definitely see my ability for reconnecting with the real world being compromised. With my phone, I realize I'm looking at a small black object. With the Vision Pro, I'm looking at a better version of reality. Yeah, better in the scare quotes. Not only is my incentive to reconnect with the physical world likely to be made weaker, I also will probably take the real world less seriously. If I spend time multitasking with the headset, the apps running in the background, and coworkers or friends speaking to me, I fracture my attention and implicitly communicate to those people that they are less important to me than my cool, augmented reality. I think this already speaks in favor of keeping reality somewhat non-augmented. For phones, AFSWD, away from Stasi's wet dream. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if like you're on Twitch, it's like an away from Twitch, away from Amaranth. Who knows what you're looking at here? But yeah. Yeah, see, again, what's the value you're getting out of the curated stuff versus the real, not the real world, the like meat space world versus the cyber world? I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to this. So, okay, besides authentic experiences, one more reason to not look at the world through technology is political in nature. In recent years, much research has investigated the influence of social media and digital technologies on polarization, beliefs in misinformation, and phenomena like filter bubbles and echo chambers. My somewhat speculative concern is that a sophisticated AR headset like Apple's might further exacerbate those informational and communicational pathologies. Oh, I completely agree. I don't think this is speculative at all. The idea that you can like block off what people can see, and you already do that, this is just giving them greater access to control what people see. Take echo chambers, for example. One of the paradigmatic concerns about them is that individuals in such environments fail to relate to one another, their respective perceptions of social and political reality being irreconcilable. It need not even be because they do not share in the same reality. Their ability to appreciate and trust others' different perceptions of reality might become significantly distorted. Yeah, and so now we're getting back to the T-win, sort of the gamification of the internet and only seeing what you want to do, and then you can't engage with other people. But it is important to remember that the metaphor represented by the phrase echo chamber represents a room or environment that one can enter and exit, though perhaps with difficulty. Yeah, see, echo chambers and epistemic bubbles is the T-win thing. If we are no longer limited by the display, then the boundary between an echo chamber and the world outside starts to break down. Here's the real question for you. What makes you think you're already free? What makes you think you can actually detach nowadays? Really, all the people here on the Twitch, this has really wormed its way into all of our lives, all the tech. You really think you can detach? You want to go live out in the woods now, on your own? You sure about that? Like, we are not as free to do whatever you want as you think we are. And so the idea that you can oh, my phone is now over here, it's and it's down and I'm not looking at it. Yeah, not so much. Are you saying that Tim Cook would do something problematic for shareholder value? Shocking. Hey, Bowser, a Big Bean Burrito. Yeah, and Ivan's yeah, you don't want to do that. So, but the idea is you are already in the system. You are not getting out. The Matrix has you. Okay, if one spends all or much of one's time with such reality-shaping technology, which we already do, where one is able to design the reality in expectation-conforming ways or have a powerful tech company do that for them, which we already do, then I worry that we will start to have something much more powerful than an echo chamber. Echo chambers, like any chamber, have doors. Truly seamless integration between digital and physical worlds promises something like an echo world, which might be much harder to escape. I mean, yeah, that's why people try to de-Googleify, and it's hard. Of course, you can take the headset off, but the blue glare you get if you look too long at the sun too long. The after image of the digital world might remain superimposed on the real one. For now, it might be best to continue looking at technology, even if we might soon be able to look through it. Yeah. So this is the thing. If you give there's a lot of sci-fi things here where if you give too much power to the machine, then eventually it will control your life. This is a, almost tropey sort of thing where, let's see, I mean, Ghost in the Shell, I was watching a while back. This does it all the time, but like any number of things where if you give over too much power to the tech, say Terminator 2, we give too much power to Skynet, turns around and bites us in the ass, all sorts of stuff. So it's like, yes. Now the question is this specific thing where it's like plugged into our visual space, is this one even more dangerous than the others? I'm not sure it's that much more dangerous, especially if you can take it off. But yeah, if you are giving people permanent access to what you see, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. What was that? Pokemon Go. Probably the first big viral augmented reality game. If you want a rabbit hole to go down, go look up the company and the CEO of Niantic or whatever it is. Go look who their friends are. They are friends with like the NSA. Like they have like NSA ties. If you imagine you're the NSA and you want all the Americans, you need to film and find out all the like weird little like cracks and crevices all over the country. How do you actually find a video and like stuff of all the places in the country? You get everyone else to go take videos of it and upload it to your central servers. That's how you do that. The Niantic people were awarded, I think, a bunch of things by the intelligence community. It's a lot of fun. Viper says, you know what would be fun for a week of Philosophy Roulette? Industrial Society and Its Future by Theodore Kaczynski, 30 pages. Oh, really? The Unabombers thing? I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, it could be. Yeah, I haven't read anything like that in a while, so I could start thinking of like, a variety of other things to read besides philosophy, but I need to get I need to get a few stupid things up before I really start thinking about, I gotta fix my alerts, I gotta fix my, the TTS alerts, I gotta get the, the review page up for all this stuff. Yeah. The NSA cannot surveil U.S. citizens without a warrant. No, but they can buy information from a private company that has lots of video about, that takes video of all, like, the public spaces in the U.S. Yeah. They don't surveil private citizens. They take video that has been signed away by the EULA of Pokemon Go users to give the company, and they buy that data from the Niantic. The link to the PDF is in Discord. Cool. You don't have anyone else is a fan of Person of Interest, but it's all there. Is that was that the big old AI sort of internet thingy control? That was fun. Yeah, I saw that years ago. Okay. Oh, we should do a review. Here we go. What do you want to do? What do we think about this? This fun little thing. All these curmudgeon corners. You're going to get some brain dances. That's what they do. These are fun ideas. Was this anything significant? Not really. Like Valpo said, called it out immediately. This is Experience Machine Light. Not a new idea. This is Nozick 1974. So philosophers, were, what is that, 50 years ahead? Well, 49 years ahead. Anne, what are you doing? I saw you were streaming earlier. What's going on, Ann? How you doing? Hope your stream went well. Yeah, so, yeah, grapes. Not a whole lot to this. This was like, this is a brain dance and a grapes, maybe. Brain dance. And let's go, yeah, I think grapes is the right call. And anyone who doesn't know, you can see on the screen, you type in the name on the right side of the screen. If you can't see them, you can install a Better TTV thing. Yeah, you're starving now. How is everyone? We're doing okay, I guess. So there's nothing too deep or ancient, nothing crazy about this one. So yeah, we're gonna get that. Now the question is, am I gonna say this is a yay or nay? This is a very, you don't need to read this. But yeah, it's a fun idea, but it doesn't really go, starts off fun and it just doesn't make a whole lot of it sort of like, shrivels up. Claims get smaller and smaller. It's like, oh yeah, be afraid of the technology. So I think that's right. And anyone else, if you're in chat, you are free to type in the emotes. The names are on the right side of the screen. So I'm like looking at them myself. So yeah. So Vipers gave it a poop. Yeah. So yeah, navel for navel gazing, only for the academics. Ouroboros, that's for ancient mysteries. There was nothing ancient or mysterious or, big idea about this. Scream for existential artistic drama. There was nothing. Like, what was the meaning of life here? There's no meaning of life here. Gold turd, all style, no substance. They had a little bit of substance. That's why I didn't do it. But it was more like they claimed they're like, oh, there was this big thing Apple's doing, and then good old ideas. Nothing special. And the knife for slicing and dicing arguments. This was just, it's not even slicing and dicing. This is just old ideas, rehashed for a modern audience. It was cool. Nothing that bad though. So, okay, I'm not even angry with it. It's Curmudgeon Corner. They do a little opinion piece. It's not so bad. Is it that great either? Nah. Anyway, let's give Ann a shout out. Shout out the Infernal. Anyone doesn't know Ann is also a streamer. Does variety of things on the internet. And playing games. I look like Borderlands 3 for the short time I was there. But yeah, so playing games and then does a bunch of crafting on Twitch. So, makes dresses, whatnots. Good peoples. Sociologist. And so you can go over there and talk to Ann about basically anything. And it's cool. She knows stuff. And smart. Okie doke. Thank you all for being here for this. And thank you for the review.